Hi, welcome to pTokens Community Call 4. We have a lot of news today. We just kind of wanted to open up the Q&A for the community here because we think there's a lot of questions going on. If you want to ask something, please find the Q&A at the bottom of this webinar and we'll get to it during the call. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Robin. I am assisting with community growth and marketing. We have a few other people on the team here.
Yeah, hi, I'm Savannah. I work with the pTokens team doing communications and marketing, and we also have our CMO Yelena here, who's the chief of marketing. So she's just on mute because she has a bit of company in the background. And then we also have Alice.
Hello, everyone. So I'm CEO at Provable Things and pTokens. So I help with growth and developing the pTokens project further. It's nice to have you all here, and I will, try to update you on all that's happening on the pTokens side and pNetwork side. We have a lot of updates this week, so hopefully I will be able to answer all your questions on what's happening next for pNetwork. But if I'm not clear enough, let me know and I will try to be better. I wanted to kick off with just a brief recap of pTokens, what we do, where we stand. So pTokens is a cross-chain bridge connecting multiple blockchains so that assets can be moved into a non-native blockchain. On mainnet today, we have Bitcoin that's connected with Ethereum and with EOS. So we have pBTC live on mainnet on Ethereum and pBTC live on mainnet on EOS. So the bridge with the Bitcoin assets was our first achievement, and then going forward, we will be working on a large variety of other assets, including EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, and much more. Just a brief update on our numbers. So at the moment, we have approximately 5 Bitcoins locked into our pBTC on EOS bridge. And we have approximately 35 Bitcoins locked in our pBTC on Ethereum bridge. So this sums up to a total number of over $385,000 locked in the system to date. I think what's also interesting is the fact that on Ethereum specifically, the amount of pBTC issued is distributed among over 500 different addresses. So this is great to see, the involvement of the community in the project and that people are actually using the system. I look forward to seeing it grow even further, but I think that's already a great achievement for us. And in terms of token transfers and transactions, again, for pBTC on Ethereum, we have over 6,800 transactions operated since inception, which was approximately 3 months ago on March 5th this year. So this is great. And also, pBTC on Ethereum was one of the most traded tokens on Kyber network last week, just as we concluded our pTokens per Kyber swap trading campaign. So that's also amazing to see that people are actually interested in buying Bitcoin and leveraging it on top of the Ethereum network, as well as the EOS network that has lower numbers, but it's still steadily growing. In terms of insights, we have been working closely with a team that's bringing a lot of innovation in the Ethereum space, and we are looking forward to share more information on this in the upcoming weeks. In the next couple of weeks, I think it's going out, the news, so stay tuned, and I hope you will like the work we have been doing. And now I would suggest to jump into the topic of the day, which is our route to the introduction of the pNetwork DAO and the pNetwork, and our governance token, which is PNT. So to start this process, we have our sister company, EDO, that is working along with Provable Things on the pTokens project. EDO has burned today over 28 million EDO tokens. So this has reduced, and that we are talking about company tokens. So this has reduced significantly the total supply of the EDO token, which also means that since that will soon be upgraded into PNT token, it also means that PNT will kick off with a total supply of approximately 60 million PNT tokens indeed, which is really great, especially if you consider the fact that this is distributed across over 7,000 Ethereum addresses. And I believe this being a very important element as we move towards a more decentralized governance and community governed system, so that basically when the DAO will be introduced, the governance token will be already in the hands of over 7,000 addresses. And these addresses, these people will actually be able to contribute within the DAO and to contribute to the future of the project. So that's great, and I look forward for this to happen. We have also announced today the exact date and time for the token upgrade to happen. So specifically, we will be taking a snapshot of all balances on Ethereum addresses that hold EDO tokens. And based on this snapshot, we will upgrade the token into PNT, so that PNT token will be distributed to all these addresses based on a snapshot that will be taken on June 18th at block height 10,289,700. Which, like for humans, it's approximately at 11 a.m. UTC time on June 18th. I see that there are a few questions, so I will jump in and see if I can answer. So the first question is from Samir, and he's asking, when is the credit card going to be available for North American clients? So this is a very interesting question. So this is an EDO specific question, because for those of you who don't follow EDO as well, the EDO project as well, EDO is a crypto wallet and a DeFi platform that's basically facilitating the way in for people and the way out for the DeFi ecosystem. EDO has recently announced, I would say, even though has recently opened orders for the EDO card. This is a Visa debit card that will enable crypto payments, and it will be directly connected with the EDO app. So the EDO card is currently available for European citizens only. This is because, as some of you may know, like each country or economic area has specific rules in terms of financial services, and because the EDO card is a debit card connected to the Visa circuit, it needs to follow specific financial procedures. So it will first be available to all European users, As for North American citizens, we don't have a timeline yet, but as soon as we will have a timeline, we will let you know. Hopefully it will happen soon. So we have another question, which is from Samir, which is EDO token burn. When is it supposed to take place? Is it happening all at once? So yes, the EDO token burn, it's happening all at once, and it did actually happen earlier today. So the EDO company has burned over 28 million EDO tokens in order to reduce their slice of tokens and the company holdings, so that basically when the DAO will be introduced and when the system will become more community governed, the system will be more decentralized and people will actually be able to actively contribute to the DAO and to decisions for the success of the project. It is sometimes the case that while there is a governance token, most tokens or many tokens are in the hands of the company behind the project, and this is not ideal in terms of, you know, decentralization, and this will not be the case for the pNetwork, because indeed the EDO company has just burned today over 28 million of their own tokens. So this reduces significantly the amount of tokens, and as a consequence also the control that they have over the pNetwork and the project itself. So this contributes and, you know, poses the basis for a truly decentralized system that is going to be introduced in the upcoming months. I hope this answered your question. So just in brief, yes, the token burn is happening all at once, and it happened earlier today, so it happened already. So I have
if anyone's just joining us now and you have a question, just go ahead and find the Q&A portion of the Zoom panel down at the bottom of the screen, and we're going to upload this to YouTube right after we end this call. So if you have a question later on the YouTube channel, feel free to find us. We're in Telegram, t.me/pTokens. And of course, our Twitter handle is pTokens_IO. And, you know, there's a million ways to find us because the community is growing. So I'll let Alice jump back in.
Thank you. Yes, so we have another question, which is, how are the governance tokens distributed? This is a very important question, I would say, so thanks for asking it. So the governance token is going to be introduced as PNT. The governance token is actually introduced as an upgrade of the already existing EDO token. This means that it's not a brand new token, but it already has a user space. It's already distributed among a variety of people, a variety of addresses, and it already has a community. This is very important as we introduce the pNetwork DAO, and we move the system towards a more community-governed and decentralized approach. So the governance token is distributed, will be distributed across over 7,000 Ethereum addresses. And like all these addresses will be able to stake within the pNetwork DAO to actively participate in voting. So deciding effectively the future of the project, and they will be able to decide whether or not to introduce fees, like what pTokens bridge to introduce next, whatever other decision, like what role the DAO should have in the system, or whatever other important decision that will need to be taken. It will be, again, like question to the DAO, and anyone holding PNT tokens will be able to participate in the DAO. Participation in voting will be like to participate in voting. You will need to stake PNT tokens within the pNetwork DAO and vote that way. Votes will be based on the amount of tokens that you have at stake. So the more tokens you have, the more power you have. And like one other interesting feature of the pNetwork DAO, you may know that if you read our light paper, if you haven't read our light paper, you can find it at p.network. That's the reference website. So when staking within the DAO and actively participating in voting, there is an economic incentive for the community. The reason for this is that we want the community to be actively involved, and we understand that in the first stages of the project, there may not be a sufficient reward for people to participate actively and to be involved, follow all the steps of the project. So while the project becomes mainstream and gains more traction, we wanted to incentivize everyone to participate with an additional economic incentive. So during the first 2 years of the pNetwork DAO, there will be an interest that's rewarded to all PNT token holders that are staking within the DAO and actively voting within the DAO. And these rewards is 42% interest in the first year, 21% in the second year. And then hopefully by the third year, we will have enough traction. We will have fees coming from the system itself, and there will be a sufficient incentive and interest for you to continue participating in the future of the project and in the future of decentralized finance. So going to how the PNT token is distributed to current token holders, to current EDO token holders, it will work as follows. So on June 18th, approximately at 11 a.m. UTC time, specifically at block height, let me read it because I don't remember it, at block height 10,289,700, we will be taking a snapshot of the balances of all Ethereum addresses that are holding EDO tokens. So this means that if you have, for example, 100 EDO token on your Ethereum address, this will appear in the snapshot that we are taking, and accordingly, the PNT distribution will happen. So if you hold 100 EDO tokens in your Ethereum address, you will be receiving 100 PNT tokens in your Ethereum address, so that the token upgrade is effective and complete. Depending on where you are holding your EDO tokens, it will work slightly differently, but don't worry, because we have taken care of everything to make this as simple as possible for you and for all token holders. So basically, if you have like PNT tokens on an Ethereum wallet, you will see the amount credited on your Ethereum wallet. If you have the tokens on an exchange, we are working with the major exchanges where EDO is currently listed on, and they will help with the upgrade, so that basically they will do that for you and you will just see the amount appear in your balances. We will be announcing more details specifically regarding like what's happening if you are holding EDO tokens on the exchanges, probably tomorrow or in the next few days. So stay tuned for more details on this, but also don't worry because we are working with them. They are aware of this happening, and we try to facilitate that for everyone. So yeah, yeah, and then basically once the token upgrade has happened, the PNT token goes and substitutes effectively the previous EDO token. So this is just an upgrade of the token. This means that PNT token will be used as a governance token within the pNetwork and the pNetwork system and the pNetwork DAO. So this will go as an addition to all the functions that are currently served by the EDO token. This means that the EDO token, for example, is used within the EDO swap or for a variety of services within the EDO platform. It will be like this. So you will be just using PNT rather than using the EDO token, but PNT will keep all the functions that are currently served by EDO tokens, and it will also serve additional functions within the pNetwork ecosystem. So we have one more question, which is, how about if we hold our EDO on Binance? So I think I just answered to this one as well. We are working with major exchanges, and more information, more details on exactly how this will work will come out shortly, probably tomorrow or the day after. And the information will also come from the exchanges, not just from us, so that you have the confirmation that you know that what we say is actually true. And yeah, so just don't worry and wait for more details to come out in the next few days. So the next question is, how many cards were ordered? How is demand for the card? Again, we are talking about the EDO card. As I said before, the EDO card is a crypto debit card that's issued within the Visa circuit. So that's one of the main financial circuits worldwide. And at the moment, it's available for European citizens only. So this was done in collaboration with financial institutions in Europe, so that EDO is able to issue this card. And specifically, there are 3 different tiers for the EDO card. So the first tier is the basic card, which gives you access to basic services. Then there is an intermediate tier, which is the VIP card, which also has some perks and additional cashback. And finally, there is the top tier, which is the black card, that has even more perks and even more cashback. So basically, you can choose the tier that you like the most, or that fits best your use case or your needs, and get the EDO card. EDO has recently opened orders for the card. So they had pre-orders open for a couple of months earlier this year, and they have now opened orders. So stay tuned because the card is coming soon. But also how many cards were ordered. So in terms of pre-order, well, orders just opened, I think, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So that's like very short time frame. But in terms of pre-orders of the card, they had more than 2,700 pre-orders of the card. So it's quite good number compared also to other crypto DeFi cards or crypto debit cards in the blockchain space, I would say. And specifically, most of those were basic cards, but there were actually quite a few VIP cards and black cards. So that specifically for the basic card, it's required to burn for users to burn a certain amount of tokens to order it, while for the VIP cards and the black cards, users are required to stake a certain amount of tokens. At the moment is EDO tokens, but then it will be PNT tokens. And based on that, they get like the tier they want. So at the moment, like considering the staking initiative really like linked to the orders and pre-orders of the EDO card, and also including the previous staking initiative that EDO like put out in December last year. There are over 5 million tokens that are currently locked into staking initiatives. So this is also interesting because it means that the circulating supply of EDO tokens is actually lower than the total supply. Okay, and then, sorry, let me clear out a few of these questions. Yes, so we have one more question from Samir, which is finally, what collaborations, upcoming milestones should we expect? What is your team doing to differentiate or be a leader in blockchain? So thanks for asking this. This is a very hard question, I would say, for me to answer, but it's also a very interesting one. I would say in terms of milestones, upcoming milestones, internally meaning like specific on the project that doesn't involve other projects within the ecosystem. Definitely something that we are focusing on and we are putting a lot of work on is the upgrade of the system. The upgrades both in terms of the introduction of a governance token, a DAO system, community governed system, a network for making the pToken system more decentralized, but also the upgrade of the pToken system as well, in the sense that at the moment, the pToken system has been launched in phase 0 with a single validating node. So this means that the security of the system is still pretty high, and the trust lines are minimized. So it's a trust minimized system where the security of the pTokens bridges is granted by trusted computing technologies. That said, it's one of our main goals is for this system to also become decentralized, and that enables us to, well, us and the project itself, to achieve a further level of decentralization and a further level of security as well. So one of our main milestones and goals that we want to achieve and that we are working towards is the upgrade of the system. Specifically, we have planned 2 major upgrades of the system. The first one will be introduced when we go from phase 0 to phase 1. And then later on, we will have a second major upgrade that will introduce that will kick off phase 2. So specifically, when going from phase 0 to phase 1. Phase 1 will introduce a network of validators. This means that while at the moment there is one single validator that's basically running the pTokens bridges, with the introduction of a network of validators, the system will be run by this network itself. So this means that we will have multiple nodes, multiple entities that will be able to validate peg-ins and peg-outs for the pToken system. So at first, phase 1 will be focused on introducing the network itself. So it will be introduced at first as a restricted network, as a permission network with a set of reputable and well-known parties within the ecosystem that will join in as validators. And then later on, phase 2 will be focused on opening up the network for anyone to join, so that whoever wants to join in as a validator and help support the network will be able to do so and to contribute, and they will be rewarded with the pNetwork fees, which are these peg-in and peg-out fees that are paid by users when leveraging the system. So in terms of internal milestones, I would say that that's pretty much what we are focusing on, and that's quite a lot of work. So yeah, let's see how it goes. We are dedicating a lot of resources and a lot of work towards this milestone. So yeah, I hope that you will also be able to join and participate more actively as soon as we launch the pNetwork DAO. While in terms of collaborations, we are in touch with multiple projects within the ecosystem. We believe pTokens and cross-chain to be a key component for open finance and decentralized finance to grow. That's because it tears down the walls that are surrounding every single blockchain, making them all communicate one with the other, so that assets are able to move freely from one blockchain to another. So we believe this is a very a key component at the basis of DeFi's growth. So for this reason, we are in touch with a variety of projects within the ecosystem. There are so many great projects within this ecosystem that really blows my mind. Specifically, as for short-term milestones, we have been working in past few weeks with a great team that's very active in the Ethereum space, and they're bringing a lot of innovation in the Ethereum space. So it was really, a pleasure working along with them on an integrations of pTokens with this project, and more more details will come out when the integration will go live in the next couple of weeks. So that's also a relevant milestone for us. And other than this project, we are also working with other projects in space, smaller and bigger. Yeah, and we will have them coming in the next few months. So yeah, stay involved, and if you have suggestions on where you would like to see pTokens integrated, just feel free to propose that to us or to the projects where you want it to be integrated, and we will try to make it happen.
I want to mention too that some folks, a lot of people are new to pTokens and PBTC in general, and a question we get often is, if you have BTC now, how can you get PBTC? How do you start interacting with pTokens? So I just wanted to point those folks to our dap.ptokens.io. And also mention that you could exchange, it's a token, so you could exchange for it on Kyber, Bancor. We have some guidelines in our Telegram and on our blog. And as Alice was mentioning, there's tons of integrations and support. I think we're Paraswap, 1inch Exchange, DexAG, the DEX aggregators have us. EDO, obviously, EDO wallet. And I know that we're supported on my Ether wallet, Argent, Trust wallet. If there's any other interfaces I'm missing, definitely.
On ES side, we also have Equilibrium and Scatter as well. And also ES Nation is among our supporters. And they have been actually really helpful. They gave us a lot of feedback, so thanks a lot if you are in the call. If you're not in the call, they have been really helpful, so go follow them as well. Should I go on with other questions?
So it looks like there's a couple more questions if you want to look in the Q&A. I'm not sure if any of these are relevant. You might have touched on some already.
Okay, so let me see. Do you feel? So I just read one question that's quite funny, because the question reads, the EDO token is at 0.55 USD. Do you feel it's undervalued? So like the official statement is that I don't answer questions on the token, on the price of the token, so I cannot comment on this. But yeah, so sorry, I cannot comment on this. But yeah, we have many news coming and many things coming. So up to you deciding if it's, you know, a good price or not. So one more. Where do you see the project after phase 1 and 2, or say a 5-10 year time frame? Yeah, I feel like I'm applying for a job. I don't know. So I guess the question is more, you know, is more general on where do we see the blockchain space in 5 or 10 years. Honestly, I have no idea. And that's because, you know, the blockchain space was born like a bit more than 10 years ago. So, and during this time frame, it has changed so many times. And like new things come up every 6 months or even 3 months sometimes. And they change completely the ecosystem. So I cannot say really, I really don't know where pTokens and where more in general the blockchain ecosystem will be in 5 or 10 years. I think that compared to 5 years ago, or that's when I came into the ecosystem, blockchain technology is now much more understood by people, not just by, you know, the average Joe, but also by institutions, by enterprises, by like the fintech industry, the financial industry, and many other industries and verticals. I think they kind of like undervalued it or tried to dismiss it 5 years ago. But now I think they understand its potential, and I think they are starting to, you know, get involved more and more. I mean, like every week we see a new news coming out saying that this company is working with blockchain technology, this other company is working with blockchain technology, and at the same time also we have like small companies or just like random people coming up with a new project, and there are literally new projects coming out every day, and some of them are really great. The amount of great projects coming out is astonishing. For example, like just last week, the Hack Money hackathon finished. We were part of the hackathon, and they came up with over 300 different projects. All of them were mind-blowing. So this is actually really great. I think that the pace of development, it's mind-blowing again, and the fact that also you know, bigger institutions and enterprises are trying to get the importance of blockchain technology is a symbol that this technology is here to stay and is here to change the way many things work right now. As for pTokens, the project focuses specifically on the world of finance and the world of decentralized finance. So in general, the world of decentralized finance is trying to improve the world of finance and is trying to, you know, solve some of the issues that we had in the financial world, which were, for example, the issue of transparency, which in the financial world is not really there. So DeFi is trying to solve this issue. I see pTokens as a key component for the world of open, for the industry of open finance and decentralized finance, just because, you know, like the potential of DeFi is really great, but at the same time, you're not going further if you are just restructuring in a different way what you already had. And in a way, while in the traditional financial world, we have banks where each bank is a silos and each bank has its own structure and its own workings. We are like fintech tried to improve that system. For example, with bank APIs that try to connect all the different banking systems. And now blockchain is trying to improve that system even further. But at the same time, you have different blockchain ecosystems, and each of them is like a walled garden. So I think that cross-chain and pTokens help in, you know, connecting all those different blockchains, and so that the DeFi ecosystem can flourish even more. So yeah, just to sum up, the answer is, I don't know where we will be in 5 or 10 years. Hopefully we will still be all here, and hopefully we will not be still all here just, you know, the 20 of us discussing among ourselves, but we will have many more people involved in the ecosystem as well. Okay, and we have one final question, which is, will staking be supported on cold wallets like Ledger? This is a great question, and I don't know the answer because it's not me working on this. I will need to ask to our technical team on the specific workings of staking. So yeah, I don't know, but I will ask and get back to you. I think that cold wallet, I mean, like in general, cold wallets are more for storing and not for you know, activities. So while it can be a good way for staking, maybe it's not the ideal way if you also want to actively vote and actively be involved in the DAO. But again, I don't know if we will have this option available. So I will ask to our technical team and I will get back to you. Okay, so I don't have any other questions. I don't know if someone wants to add anything or ask something else. I will just, you know, put out a bit more of information to recap to see if someone else wants to ask questions. If not, I think we are almost done with the call, in the sense that it usually takes 1 hour, and we are almost there. So I think I talked way too much.
An hour goes by so fast. Yeah, if anyone has any questions after we publish on YouTube, we'll definitely get to it. And I'm going to throw into the chat right now our Telegram. If you're coming over from the EDO side or EOS, or you're new to pTokens, just jump in. We are at the ready for any pNetwork discussion, and we'll help you use your PBDC. I think that looks to be it. Oh, we have one.
Yeah.
If you want to get that final question.
Okay, last minute questions. So what are the traditional finance players? Are they somehow interacting with the upcoming ecosystems? I would say yes, in the sense that, this was not the case some years ago, but right now, today, like in 2020, also in 2019, we have seen a variety of big players in traditional finance getting involved with the ecosystem. Of course, I wouldn't expect them to play around with flash loans, but I think that they are well aware of the blockchain ecosystem of decentralized finance, and they are listening and they're researching a lot. For example, we are part of the EEA, the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, and that's home to startups as well as enterprises and some banks, some corporates in the traditional financial world. And they are involved. They're actually involved in the discussion. They are listening. They are participating. They are experimenting. They are researching with this technology. So yes, I would say that they are interested. And maybe they will get involved tomorrow, but I expect them to get involved in the ecosystem in the coming months and years.
I think it's getting harder and harder to ignore blockchain and DeFi. Yeah, so I think that's it for questions. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to attend, and we're going to keep doing these community calls to make sure that we have a direct contact with our anyone who has any questions about the project. And yeah, you know where to reach us. Find us in our Telegram. Thank you so much, Alice, and thank you, Yelena and Savannah. And I think there's some team members out there in the attendees list too. Yeah, join us next time. Thank you so much for coming.
Bye. Thank you.